Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap this all up with our last little riff of this song. So again, just to review, you learn all these parts. You learn that second part. And then you learn the third part. So now we gotta learn the very last part, and hopefully at this point you're listening to the song and you're kind of putting the different parts together because it plays this part. I believe it's 7 times. It goes in this part. Does that basically 2.5 times because remember the last one you play. Then you go right back into. You go into that part, and I believe that's 4 times. Then you go into this part. You play through that whole section. Then you go back into your main part. And again, I think it might be 4 times back into this part. And then when it does, after that, what it does is goes into another part. So I'm going to play the second time through this. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1 and triple it, triple it. And that's when the solo comes in right after that. So, what we do is, again, after we play this, this is the very last time you play that. Your fingers on here, you're going to move it up to the 11th fret, not the 12th, 11th fret, and you're going to hit 11 and 9. I'm just going to go through the notes first. We'll talk about, you kind of want to stop some of these notes, but D string, because your fingers on the D string after that. So that's the second time through. You're going to move it up to the 11th fret. So 11, 9. And then you're just simply going to go down the line on the A string, so that was D string. Now on the A string, you're going to go 11, 10, 9, and then to 7. Or just for now. So you want to practice that a few times, get that down. And then when you get done with that, you're going to jump up to your E string, same fret. You're here on the 7th fret, jump up to the 7th fret on E string. You're going to hit that once. And then you're going to hit it again. Put a hammer on to the 9th fret. So 7, 7, hammer on to 9th fret. You're not going to pick the 9th fret. You're just hammering on. See how I'm not picking that second note? So you can hit 7, then hammer on, and then you're going to hit that note once after that. So even though you're not hitting it, it's still kind of making that note sound, but you got to strike it one more time. So in the way, it's sort of like as if you're doing that, but you're going to be going and then hammer on that second note, or the third note, really. So you have 1, 2, hammer on that note, and then hit the note. 1, 2, hammer on that note, hit the note. So try practicing that all by itself. Get that down pretty good. Just make sure you don't go. It's not the end of the world if you do that, but it sounds more authentic if you just play 7, 7, hammer on and hit the note. So again, D string, 10, 7, 10, 9, 10, 9. I mean, sorry, not 10, 9, 11, 9 on the D string. 11, 9, 11, 10, 9, 7. Then that part, 7, 7, hammer. And then 9. Eleven, 9, 11, 10, 9, 7, 7, 7, the hammer, and then 9. Yep. So now, what I like to do here, once you get that down, is you really want to stop it. You know, use your right hand to kind of stop it, and I also lift up on the pressure on the actual notes. So I stop that, make it, it's kind of what they call staccato. I'm hitting that. Stop it. And then these ones, I'm going to kind of do the same. Now that one I'll let ring. So let that ring and then stop that note. These 3 notes. Stop it after and then let that ring. And then I'll jump up and do 7, 7, hammer. Yep. Yep, and then there's that riff. So, but just at first get and then add in those stops. It's again called staccato. Yep. And as far as beats, basically what I'm doing is kind of 8th notes. I'm kind of doing first notes downbeat, and I'm really go ahead and I'm hitting that next note on upbeat, and then the next ones are going to be hitting on upbeats again. So kind of stop it basically on the downbeat, but I'm just doing it a little quicker than that. I'm going. Now I'm hitting up, up, up. So you notice that basically what I'm doing is playing it on the upbeats. So this was down, then up, stopping it down, up, stopping it down, up, stopping it down, up, stopping it down, and then I do hit this upbeat, and then I hit the upbeat here again. Now I'm going to hit the downbeat on that same note. And I'm kind of hitting the next note on the upbeat and then downbeat. So basically the main thing you want to keep track of is here's this is my foot, down, up, 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 up. Try to get that down first. Down, up, 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 down, up, 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 up. And then after that, I wait and until I hit this one up. But then I hit it immediately on the down beat. Hammer on, and then I hit that in a down beat. So down, up, 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 down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up, down. Yeah, but again, the main part is up, up. You gotta really make sure you're hitting these on up beats, or again, it's gonna throw that timing off. So, yeah, put some work into that, and after that, basically what happens is it kind of goes into an extended solo. So you could go ahead and either, until you're playing, able to play solos, you're not going to be able to do too much with that. One thing you can do is you can go over to your C sharp right here, the 9th fret on the E string, and you could just kind of jam on a rhythm, underneath while the solo's playing, say in the backing track. Or you could be maybe just straight. But you might get tired of doing that. But you could do that, or you could just lay back, let the solo go, or really what Randy and Zach do a lot of times is after that last one, they kind of just they'll end it off, with a power chord, and they won't even go through that extended solo, because it goes through an extended solo, goes back into some of these parts. Goes through a whole nother section of that. So again, Randy and Zach, they just kind of cut that right out and move along, and then they want to move to different songs. So really, I would say the best thing for you, if you're not going to be playing the solo, you're not at that stage yet, is to just play up to that point and just, you can stop right there, and that's fine. Later on when you get, start working on soloing, you get better at that, then you can go ahead and add that part in and kind of, if you want to play through the whole song at that point, then you can. But otherwise, yeah, just play up to that point, and that's perfectly fine. That's what, again, Randy, Zach does. I've seen a lot of cover bands do that, because they don't want to go into a big, long, extended solo. And so, yeah. So there are all your parts. Now, what you need to do after you get all those different parts is you got to sit down and count out how many times does it play each part. So you got to work out, it's seven times it plays through this section 2.5 times, it goes back into this 4 times, and it goes into this whole section 2 times. So you got to work it out. And it's good to get a piece of paper, and you can put verse and chorus, bridge, and all those down. Or if you don't know what those are, put the first section, you say the main riff was A, mark it A, second one B, and then it goes back to A again. Then it switches over to the third section. We call that C. So it goes A, B, A. Then it goes to a C. Then it goes back to A. Then it goes back to C. And diagramming it all out so you can kind of organize it. And when you do that, do A /7 B dash 2.5, and you can mark any kind of little things that you want to mark in there, like that one there, 2.5. Play the full riff 2 times, and then just up to that part where it plays 3 notes on the fifth string, the 5th fret. Anything. It doesn't have, you have to make any sense to anybody else. As long as it makes sense to you, it's just little notes you write yourself. Just remind yourself, and that way you can work through the songs. And you're not going to come along and hit different parts of the song and then I missed it. And then you got to correct yourself, and you don't know where those changes are. And a lot of people, they practice those different parts of the songs, but when it comes to those transitions, that's where it kind of falls apart because, you didn't take the time to count it through. And it's so easy to do. You just sit down for, 10, 15 minutes and diagram it out. And then, a little bit of memorizing, and you've got it down from then on, instead of like just constantly going over, weeks and weeks, months, sometimes even years of just missing when that next part is supposed to come in just because you avoided that 10, 15 minutes to diagram a song out. So take that time, do yourself a favor. You don't want to be playing in front of somebody and then all of a sudden the part comes along and you've made a flub because you forgot, oh, I was supposed to play a couple more times, or I was supposed to switch then, so yeah, take that time, and that's your last thing to do with all this. Go back, review whatever you need to review. Go ahead, practice the transitions. If you have a problem going from one part to another, just practice a little bit of one part and a little bit of another part. Practice that transition so you can do it smoothly, and then go make sure you're playing each part the right amount of times. And really, really important is start playing along with the backing track. Put on the real song, and start playing along with that. Try to slow it down at first. You want to play at full speed in the very beginning, but go ahead and playing along with a track is so incredibly important. It's something you really want to make sure you do, because that's going to increase or it's going to decrease the amount of time it takes you to get it down, because it's going to force you to speed up, slow down, and basically stay on the ball. And so, yep, that's a really important part. So that's it. That is, excuse me, that is Black Sabbath, Ironman, all the different parts for you. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.